Hi Neil, and welcome to TwstNotes, where I summarize the latest story update in JP. So instead of gameplay recordings, I'm going to be doing screenshots instead. I've only seen one other person talk about it, so I don't think most people are aware of this, but TwstJP has stopped working on BlueStacks again. How I normally do these videos is I record the gameplay on my computer, and then it's just there and ready for me to video edit. But because Twist isn't working on my computer now, I've had to move it onto my phone. And while I could screen record my phone, I don't really have a way to get that footage from my phone to my computer since I've lost, like, every single cord capable of doing data transferring, and my Google Drive is nearly full, so I'd have to, like, move recordings over one by one, like uploading, downloading to my computer, and then deleting from my drive. Pictures tend to be smaller files than videos, so I could do pictures and not have it bog down production time too much, but videos would make this video come out a lot later, so we're doing pictures, so sorry about that. Hopefully the BlueStacks team fixes the issue with JP soon. I sent in a request, so let's hope. I'm honestly not a huge fan of having it on my phone. But anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's get into Chapter 9 of Book 7. So we just immediately jump into the next dream. Vil, who's not used to traveling between dreams, is freaking out and screaming. The others make fun of him for it. They've landed in Kalim's dream and are currently, like, somewhere in the Stelding Sands and all overheating. Which, Vil, like, come on, aren't you from Twisted LA? Stop being a baby. Kalim comes out to see them and explains that they're at the Qasr Sultanate Academy, which his father built for him when he manifested his magic at 14. Yeah, his dad built a whole school for him in this dream, which the other characters later point out is kind of realistic. But anyways, Kalim asks who they are and arranges for a little outdoor lunchy lunch. They chat and we learn that not only does Kalim not know who they are, but he also has no idea what Night Ribbon College is. Other lunch topics include Kalim trying to force Grim to eat a cracker like he did during Book 4, Sebek explaining Sleeping Beauty under the lens of a king nearly ruining Briar Valley's silk and, like, embroidery industry because his daughter was fated to die by pricking her finger on a spinning wheel. We all know the story. And Kalim talking about Aladdin and Jasmine and laws being changed so princesses could marry whoever they wanted. Jamil shows up and is like, Kalim, I told you to tell me if we have guests, so I can arrange something better for them. Hey, bestie, hey. And everyone is immediately disturbed by a smiley, over-friendly Jamil. He introduces himself as Kalim's best friend and another sophomore at the school. The others introduce themselves. Jamil and Kalim talk about food a bit, and Jamil asks Kalim to go get him some food from the kitchen, and this sets the other students off. They immediately are like, there's no way Jamil would ever ask that, and try to wake up Kalim. They're literally the he would not fucking say that meme. Silver's like, Kalim, is this really the Jamil you know? And Kalim is like, y'all know Jamil. They play it so seriously, but honestly, it kind of made me laugh. They argue, and Grim brings up the winter holiday and that whole fiasco. Jamil calls for security, aka darkness, to go and get the others. They fight off the darkness, and Jamil and Vil are basically, like, fighting over Kalim with, Jamil trying to get him to fall back into the dream, and Vil trying to wake him up. Jamil even tries using Snake Whisper on Kalim to get him to fall back into the dream. Vil brings up the NRC tribe and has a whole monologue about how Jamil is a fake friend and Kalim should pick someone better as a friend, which is, like, harsh, but also, like, she has a point. Kalim remembers everything and they get transported to the Scarabia Lounge. Jamil tries reaching out for Kalim, who slaps his hand away and is like, you are not my friend. They fight again and Jamil dissolves into darkness and disappears. Kalim starts crying, but the others cheer him up and get him, like, caught up to date on what's going on with that stupid fucking movie. Kalim asks what he needs to do, and they tell him they need to go wake up Jamil, so they go to Jamil's dream. They land at the Camel Bazaar in Silk City. Vil isn't doing so hot with all the dream jumping, so Silver and Ordo stay behind with him and rest a little bit while the others go try and find Jamil. After Kalim and the gang have issues buying coconut juice when the merchant doesn't know who Kalim is, and Silver has to rush in and pay the dude, they go to the Azim's house, or rather, where it was. It's a ditch now. Like, there's dead trees everywhere. It's a ditch. Like, there's nothing there in this dream. A passerby tells them that the Azim's businesses all failed and the house was sold to someone new and relocated. They go to the new location and find that it's all red and black now, and honestly looks cool as hell. I just love it. I'm like, I love the color scheme. A security guard approaches them but recognizes Kalim. We learn that the Azim businesses all failed and they lost the house, selling it to the Vipers, who are now, like, the wealthiest family ever, basically. While they're talking, a parade starts with Jamil as the star of the show, and the guard basically tells Kalim to go help the procession, so he and the others go. They end up walking all the way to Jahar Sahir College, which is another magic school, and it's literally just Qasr, but, like, red and black. Everyone is like, oh, that's funny, they both dreamed of magic schools. Jamil spots them and goes over to talk. Kaleem is super casual with Jamil, who corrects him and tells him to be more formal with him. Ordo pulls Kaleem to the side and is like, "You're supposed to be an NPC, just go along with what he wants." Jamil asks who they are, and they explain that they're from Night Riven College. Vil quickly makes up a fake story for them, that they're a part of the Film Studies Club and they were in town for a shoot, but then they decide to check out the school. Jamil, unlike Kaleem had been, knows about NRC and guides the students around the school since he's the school council president. Kaleem tries playing the part of servant, getting water and snacks for everyone. He's not doing good at it, bless his heart, but he's trying. During his flitting back and forth from the group, he brings back a replica of the magic carpet he has back at NRC. He reminds Jamil of the time he scolded Kaleem for not being careful enough with it, and another time Kaleem snuck out and Jamil had to chase after him. Jamil starts to remember, and the others encourage Kaleem to keep going. He does, but when they get close to Jamil waking up, a fake Kaleem shows up and coaxes Jamil back into the dream before attacking the others. After the gang beats the fake Kaleem, the real one immediately jumps into the darkness after Jamil and the others follow. They're now in Scarabia during winter break. Jamil has succeeded mind-controlling Azul, and he plans to go after the other house wardens and then the headmaster. Kaleem starts a fistfight with Jamil, and the two just fight for a while. Sebek tries to step in, but Silver stops him and essentially lets Kaleem and Jamil sort it out themselves. During a lull, Jamil remembers what really happened during winter break and wakes up. But because he wakes up, the dream starts falling apart. Kaleem starts falling into the darkness when Jamil pulls him out and gets taken instead. Kaleem tries to pull him out even though Jamil tells him to leave, and Jamil eventually has to slap Kaleem to get him to back off. He slips into the darkness. Like Vil, he finds his overblotted self in the darkness and overblots too, so he can fight the original overblotted evil Jamil. I don't want to say evil Jamil, but like the shadow Jamil. So we get another fight playing as an overblotted character, and having to hear their voice hurt line over and over and over again. It's just as annoying as Vil's was. But Jamil wins the fight and returns to Jahar Sahir College. The fake Kaleem is worried about Jamil's health, but Jamil plays along and tells him he's fine. He plays along until he can get the perfect moment to cast Snake Whisper and forces the fake Kaleem to dissolve into darkness and leave. The gang catches up with him and they make their plans. Vil and Kaleem will stay behind. Vil because all the dream traversing is taking a toll on him, and Kaleem because the physical fight with Jamil really wore him out and he needs to rest and recover. Ordo gets Jamil's dummy data set up, and the gang, including Jamil, head on to the next dream. And that's the end of the update. Overall, it was a super fun update and fairly easy to get through. It updated at midnight my time, and it's 3:45 a.m., and I just finished the last bit, so that's not too bad. I've still got a few hours of work to do, but it's better than earlier chapters where I'd have to be up until like 5 or 6 a.m., and that was just reading. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I know it's only 2 new outfits, one for Jamil and one for Kaleem, but I love how they change colors. I'm a sucker for recolors. But yeah, I'll see you guys later for the next main story update. Thank you everyone for watching, and a very special thank you to my channel members and Twitch subs. Your support helps me to continue to make these videos. If you'd like early access to my videos, consider becoming a channel member. Patrons and Ko-fi members can get my scripts early before I record them. I livestream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thanks again guys, and I'll see y'all later.